questions?
My first comment is I really couldn't be a whole lot more proud of these guys. I'll be honest. That's one of the most complete games we've played all season. And you look at the results, you look at the score, and you don't see that. But from a coach's standpoint, what I've watched us do all year is have great quarters and great quarters and great quarters. And we drift off mentally or something happens, we'll score, in our sectional game, we score 6 points in the third quarter, score 33 in the fourth. What's causing that is these guys, they drifted off and they just haven't really played a complete game until tonight. Now we scored 41 points, and I think we shot 25% or something like that in the first half. And that's terrible. Let's just be realistic about it. But I made the mistake of saying I don't think we can shoot worse than we did in the first half. Prove me wrong, prove me wrong. But when you can take a team that's what 21-2, I think St. Mary's was something along those lines, number 2 seed in the whole state. We're within 10 points of it. I mean, we turn right there at the end and we're shooting 20% for the game. And that's what I told my locker room. I said, man, it'd be sure nice if we could make a shot. If we make a shot, we'd be really dangerous. The kids just, we pride ourselves on how hard we play. We pride ourselves on physical games. And sometimes you look at how many busted lips and how many, blood, and we got blood in the mouth and everything. That's how we play. And I couldn't be more proud of them for that.
Questions?
Coach, like you said, very competitive game, stayed in it through and through. When you were successful on offense, what did you see out of your team?
Well, what we focused on a lot as far as offensively is we knew the St. Mary's was aggressive. And I was real surprised that they come out and played as far out as we did. I mean, Barney does an incredible job. He's got a great coaching staff, and they knew that we don't shoot it well. And when they come out and started playing us, I knew that we was going to be able to get some, especially some cutters, especially back cuts. And we found out that the center of their defense was really susceptible to, they just kind of suck in and collapse. And anytime we get the ball to the high post area, we have cutters and stuff off of it, either from the baseline or off the wing. And that's what we tried to exploit as much as we could here, especially late in the game.
Held Barnhart to only 10 points. I think he normally puts more than that on. Did you have a specific game plan for him, or was it kind of just a defensive game plan as a whole?
Yeah, number 5. That was not a game plan. He is the best defender that I have ever coached. Strong kid, he's hard-nosed, and the Barnhart kid's a great player. We knew that coming in, and he didn't impact this game. Whenever 13 is the one that's leading the score, am I right? I mean, that's what it felt like. 13 year leading score.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah. So listen, when 13's our leading score, and we hold 3 to 1 basket, we hold 10 to 10, or we hold 31 to 10 points. That says a lot, and he's the reason that's sitting right there. He is the reason. So yeah, when you've got that, you don't have to come up with an elaborate defensive game plan. You just say, go get him up.
Josh, you look at stats, and a lot of them are even. Is it a matter of just shooting percentages, like you said? I mean, did you think really much else played into the result than?
Oh no, when we're shooting, for the game here, we're shooting 31%, but they're 41%. I mean, 31%. That's pretty well par for the course for us. I think on the season we're averaging about mid to upper 30s, and we generally get out rebounded. We generally have a few more possessions, stuff like that. And that's the difference in the game. I mean, it is. I mean, I think if we make a few more shots, I mean, it's obviously opposite. If you make a few more shots, you can have more points. But it changes the game around. They had some really big possessions where they scored and we didn't. And you're looking at sometimes a 4 to a 5 point swing. So.
Just for the players being able to be down here with your teams, what was that experience like?
That was our goal, was in Charleston. I mean, mid-season when the slump was losing games, it kind of also, this is our goal to make Charleston. And I wanted to come in and win the first year.
That's always been a dream of mine since I was in middle school, to kind of be a player.
And I was gonna have my last game, it was eventually all in there in a year. It was crazy thing.
It didn't even feel real. It just, the floor and everything was insane.
Did you guys have a lot of nerves early on?
I was so nervous.
When did you kind of feel like you were settling in? I mean, was there a point in the game where you're like, all right, it's just another basketball game, kind
Right,
of?
couple plays in. I was, yeah, after a few plays went by, I was like, it's just normal basketball.
Yeah, you kind of forget about the crowd and everything. Just,
I told them all earlier, I said, if you're not nervous in this environment, you're dead. That's it. I mean, I've been coaching for, since 2002, 2003 years as an assistant or head coach. And, I get nervous for every game. And the minute I quit getting nervous, it's time to hang it up. I told them that all years.
Any further questions? All right, thank you all very much. Coach, I'll give these up to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. fresh water, high quality H2O.
Good job.
All right, members of the meeting, we got St. Mary's High School head coach Mark Barnhart, players Waylon Moore, Luke Powell, Grant Barnhart. Coach, a few comments on the game, then we'll get questions.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Braxton County High School. I thought they came out and played extremely well. They competed really well and played really hard. We knew that they would play very hard. Coach Lunsford's teams always play very hard, and we knew that they would be coming out and get right in our grill, and I thought they did that and did a really nice job.
Questions?
Waylon, what went into tonight's performance, a double-double tonight?
It's easy to get rebounds whenever your team's box out, and it's easier for me to just jump up and get a defensive rebound. And because everybody's going so hard on my team for offensive rebounds, it's easier for me to just go and grab it because he's going after it, and our team likes to get after it. And the other team did a great job going after rebounds as well. They were probably the most physical team we played all year.
And Grant, 10 points tonight, but a majority of those came in the last quarter. What did you see, especially with your shot selection in the fourth?
I'll just be honest with you, it's really hard to shoot here.
Yeah.
And my three wasn't really falling, so I tried to get more in my pull-up, and I wasn't falling, so, I mean, last resort, getting to the rim, so.
You flirting with a double-double yourself. What worked out there, especially with everyone grabbing rebounds left and right?
When everybody else has got rebounds, you basically get what everybody else does with it. And they were playing physical. We had to step up to the plate and play physical as well.
Mark, your defense obviously was a big factor in the win. You know, Josh was just in here saying he thought it could have been maybe a little tighter game if they had made a few more shots, but I'm sure you're going to live with 31% shooting from your opponent any day.
Our team this year has given up on average, I believe, about 45 per game. And I felt like that we adapted, especially to start the second half. We went a little bit of zone, and then we went back to man-to-man, and I thought we were more physical in the second half overall. And I am very proud of our guys for the job they did on them defensively. I thought they did a really nice job. I thought we were physical, way more physical in the second half than we were the first. And I was very proud of how hard our guys played and how they handled the physicalness in the second half. I thought we let it get a little bit to us in the first half. I thought in the second half we handled it much better. And I think defensively, I think they got 18 in the first half and 27 in the second, 23 in the second half. So yes, defensively we were very pleased with our guys.
What was the key to the success? I mean, communication is obviously a big factor, but what makes you guys such a strong defensive team?
Well, we have a rim protector, and he does a nice job, and he allows the other guys to play a little bit more aggressive because they know, I call it a defensive sin insurance policy. They got a big guy back there that if they commit a sin on defense and aren't where they're supposed to be or get beat, he's back there to help them. Sometimes we probably depend on him too much and that put him in some foul issues as the game.
Mark, I mean, if you look at the Final Four, I mean, the majority of these teams you guys are, you know, at least a little bit familiar with. I mean, you've got Bluefield coming up next, but on the other side, you've got Ravenswood and Hoka. You know, does it aid you guys in any way to be familiar with the majority of the teams left?
Well, the one we're playing is the one we're not.
Yeah.
But yes, the other ones, obviously we played Ravenswood twice during the season. So we have seen them, and it does help if you've seen them. I think that 100% makes a difference.
Grant, you kind of talked about how difficult it is to shoot down in Charleston. So where did your game kind of, I've watched you play all season, you're always the deep ball guy, like the mid-range jumper. Where did you kind of change your play into the hard-fought paint points?
Basically, whenever I wasn't getting my three to fall, you saw that. And something I worked in the off season a lot on was just like making a move to get around my guy, getting that quicker first step, and being able to finish around the rim. And when you outside shot and mid-range shots not falling, you got to be able to do it.
Mark, earlier in the year you said that you guys intentionally beefed up your schedule just so you have games that were tough. And even though record-wise, Braxton doesn't really show it. They played you guys incredibly hard tonight. You know, do you think the scheduling from earlier in the year paid off in the way that you hoped?
100%. We came down here and played Charleston Catholic. It was a very similar type game. Extremely physical. We played down at Institute. And it was one of the most physical games we had all year. And probably the second most physical game, or maybe even more so than that, was tonight. So I thought we adapted to it. We had a pretty physical game when we went to Fort Fry High back during the season. And we played a little team called Scott. And we had a pretty physical game with them. We played all three of those games in 5 days' time in mid-February. I think it was a good thing that we did. Some of our off-season basketball games against some teams that are very physical have benefited us as the season's progressed.
Luke, when you hear your coach talking about the way you serve as a rim protector and just the overall level of physicality in this game, how much kind of pride did you take in that role and, you know, making sure that they didn't get anything easy?
Oh, I love protecting the rim. That's one of my favorite parts of the game. So just being able to stay and help all the time, I love it.
For any of the players, Grant mentioned earlier that it was hard shooting down here. Luke or Mr. Moore, what do you think the shooting is like down here?
Oh, it's difficult. As soon as I walked out and I saw the lights, I knew it was going to be hard. The background, all the people there, instead of just a blank wall like it usually is. It was tough.
Depth perception.
To any of the players, now that you guys kind of got a look at the rim, you got to come down and shoot, you got a whole game under your belt, do you kind of think that for Friday's matchup it's going to be a little bit easier shooting?
For sure. Just getting in depth to the stage, all the people here, the open surrounding, it's going to be helpful to have one game under your belt.
Any further questions? All right, thank y'all very much.
Those corners are dangerous.